Okay, so let's take a Google slide and let's put it over into Seesaw. So on the left-hand side, I have all my slides here, and there's a duplicate slide, so you can see with this slide, there's a break-apart stick, but with this slide, there isn't. I'm going to take the slide that doesn't have the break-apart stick because I want to make that interactive in Seesaw. So I'm going to right-click and copy, and then I'm going to paste it to a new presentation. So I'm going to go to File, New Presentation. I'm going to wait for it to load and then right click and I'm going to paste my presentation. So I just want to keep my original styles if that little guy pops up. And then I have an extra slide here. I want to get rid of that, otherwise that will show up in Seesaw. So I'm going to delete that extra slide. I'm going to name it Finger Wiggles 10. You can name it whatever you want so that you know what it's how to find it. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Seesaw where I'm logged in, and I need to add a new class. So when or not a new class, a new activity. So when I was home, in fact, let me just go back to home. Here I was. I want to go to the plus sign, go to add, assign an activity. You'll see my activity library. Here's all the things that I have assigned. I'm going to create a new activity here, and I'm going to call this Finger Wiggles 10. And then I could type my instructions for my students. Now, there's an icon sheet that you got in your Google folder to help you with Seesaw. I'm not going to use it right now, use the shortcuts. We're just going to make this easy. Follow my instructional video. Okay, I would obviously put some images here for our kinders or some better icons, but for time, I'm going to skip that. And then I can add multimedia instructions or an example to this. But first, I'm going to go ahead and add the template for student responses. So down here, I'm going to add the template, and I want to upload this from Google. So I'm going to choose Upload. I'm going to select on the right-hand side from Google Drive. I am going to now choose my Finger Wiggles 10, which is still loading, but it will be there in just a moment, and select it, and it's going to insert. Okay, so now this is what it looks like inside of the student activity board. And I want to maybe make some shapes or something in here. I have lots of different options. I have shapes here. And so maybe for my break apart, let's see, maybe I use just a 10 rod for my break apart, or it might be a little confusing. Let's go with it right now. We'll go with a 10 rod. Okay, and if I'm here, I'm going to just make this my break apart, because if I click it, now look, it can move along my page. So what I'm going to want students to do is follow the directions on the left-hand side, but to do that, I actually want to make this my new break apart. So I'm going to copy and paste that over my popsicle stick so that students aren't confused. I'll just keep that one there. Control C, Control V, make another one. And now I'm going to make that guy bigger because I want him now to be my movable break apart stick. Okay, so now I want them to also be able to type over here, and so I want to do a text box on my left-hand side. I'm going to create that text box now, and I'm going to move him over here. Actually, let's do it this way. There we go. And I want to make him go over those little boxes. So this part does take just a little bit of time because you want to make it interactive. You want kids to have to type or write their answers in that box. So I have the box my size. Now I've shaped it the way I want. I'm going to Control C, Control V, and see if that'll help me get another one. Let's see if it works again. It's not going to. Let's see if it'll do this way. Duplicate, there we go. So I apparently have to right click it, duplicate it, and then now I can put it here. Now notice when I right clicked or I click those little three dots, I can lock it. I would suggest you go ahead and do that so that when the students touch it, it doesn't move. Okay, so now that it's locked, when I click on it, I can type something in there or oh, I guess I have to leave it unlocked. Let's leave it unlocked. Good, we're doing this together. We'll figure it out. Unlocked, now I can type in there. So if I unlock it, I can put something inside. If I keep it locked, then they could still use their pencil tools at the bottom and they could draw on those boxes. Okay, so I still want to do my three dots and duplicate. And we're all going to get better at this as we do it. Okay, so if I keep doing that, I can put it over all of these boxes. So I'm going to stop for now just for the sake of the video, but you would keep going and make one of all of these so that they would have places for students. Okay, so now I'm going to say I'm done, the check mark in the right-hand corner. And Now I want to add a multimedia instructions because these are kindergartners and that's going to be rough. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to upload the same file and I have it here, select it. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go to shapes. I'm going to find my 10 stick. I'm going to keep that here, copy and paste that guy over here so that he covers up my popsicle stick. And then, in fact, I'll lock him over here now that we know we can do that. And then I need to do my text boxes. And we're going to move that one over here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few of these. So we're just duplicating the same thing over and over here because I want to now make my video. So now my example looks like their example. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and push record because I want to record my example for students. So I'll push record and I'm going to start recording for them. Boys and girls, today we're going to do our finger wiggles for 10. Help me find my partners of 10. Boys and girls, would you wiggle 10 fingers? Wiggle all 10. Now, boys and girls, I want you to wiggle a partner of 10. Maybe you're wiggling just one of your fingers. Wiggle one finger. Boys and girls, wiggle how many are are left. How many are wiggling? You should be wiggling 9. So I can do my break apart stick here to help me with this. So boys and girls, I'm going to use my break apart stick and I'm going to move it. We'll move it right there. And I want to say that my partners are 1, I can see that, and 9 are partners of 10. So you're going to hold up your 10 fingers, wiggle 1, wiggle 9. Now say your partners. 1 and 9 are partners of 10. Now, boys and girls, up in my boxes, up here, I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to write my partners. 10 equals 1 and 9. Or you could type in those boxes if you wanted to. So you can click the box. And when you click the box, you can just type your numbers in there if you want to. Okay, my friends, try it, and then you're going to move the break apart stick to the next spot, and you're going to do your finger wiggles all over again. So look over here, wiggle 10 fingers. Wiggle a partner of 10. Look what I have. I have 2 over here. How many are on this side? 8. Wiggle your partners. 2 and 8 are partners of 10. The last step, write the partners of 10, and you'll do that for your entire page and record your answers here. So that's what I would do. It asked me if I want to re-record it or listen to it. I might fix a couple of the little mistakes I made there and make sure that I can type in my box and whatnot during my presentation. Boys and girls, oh, it's going to do that for me, but I'm going to say I'm okay with what just happened. And so now I'm going to do my check mark and say I'm okay with it. Now it's uploading. And so now what you can see for my students is now they have their activity. It's that Google slide. I've made the pieces of it that I want to be interactive. And then I have my example attached. So they'll be able to click my example and watch me do it. And then they'll be able to do it on their own. So I push save in the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to like it because I want to add it to my math expressions playlist for me. And now I'm going to assign it. So I can assign it to my students, assign it to my class, etc. I'm going to go and close out of this for now. So that's how I would take a Google slide and put it over into Seesaw and make those interactive pieces as interactive as I can.